Why is it not go? Hello and welcome. My name is Stephanie McPhail. I am so excited that I'm going to be welcoming Brooke Kekos to talk about a summit that I was lucky enough to be a part of. It's going live next week, right, Brooke?
That's right. July 22nd is the launch date.
Awesome. That's kind of, and I don't know about you. I feel like I totally lost July. Like it was like 4th of July, and now here we are. Like the 20th is next week already. So really crazy. Can you tell us what this summit is about?
Yes. So this is actually called Thrive After Abuse Summit. And the reason why I have put this summit together is because obviously it's near and dear to my heart because I feel like, those that have suffered from narcissistic abuse, abusive relationships, abusive past, you really do have some suffering. You have to move through some things after these things. And it's so important that we have the tools and the mentors and the guides and the coaches and the therapists there to kind of help just like hold our hand through the experience. I always tell everybody, like, you are your best healer, but at the same time, you want to engage with people that have been through this because they're going to be your best, toolbox to help you navigate it quicker, faster, move through things and get to that healing. So this is really what this is about. This is having you, Stephanie, along with all of the other speakers that are coming on to talk about these topics of not only how they navigated their own journey, but also has amazing, beautiful freebies, gifts to give to the audience so that you guys can really, if you're just embarking on that journey, if you've just gotten out of a relationship that's abusive, or if you know that for some time, like you're suffering from these toxic relationships and really wanting to heal, really helping you navigate, okay, how do I begin and start this journey so that I can get to the other side where I can thrive, right? And where you can feel like, oh, I finally have some relief here. I finally feel better. I finally am able to attract a partner that I actually really want and thrive in relationships.
Now, I think one of the hardest parts for me and probably a lot of people that are watching is kind of like throwing your hands up and saying, I can't do this by myself, and being able to let go and realize that we do need outside support. What do you think is the real, like the great thing about having a summit and having all these different types of people out there for people that are like, I'm a little unsure. What if I don't vibe well with somebody? What would you say to them?
I would say that this is your way to see who you do resonate with. So if it's not with me, maybe it's with Stephanie, right? Maybe it's with one of the other speakers. Maybe you're at a different place in your journey that maybe what I do is not going to work for you. Maybe it's you need you, right? They need you, that you're the toxic relationship recovery expert. Maybe they need what you give to them, right? And so in listening to each speaker, you're able to actually really resonate with, okay, this person feels like I'm drawn to this person. This sounds like what I need. And then maybe, you'll realize, like, after listening to some of the other speakers, that's the person you want to reach out to because you feel like this is where I'm at in my journey. This is the next step. And that's why we kind of have like a really well-rounded event where each speaker brings something different to the table and where perhaps maybe where you're at. So I have someone that's into IFS, which is internal family systems, right? I have, someone that's into somatic experiencing, which means it's like working with the body and all of these other things, energy work. Someone that's like a narcissistic abuse expert, right? Like there's just all of these pieces, like where it's just going to be, you're going to know. And I always tell people, like, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, who feels like is in alignment with you, and go forward with that.
And that's what I love about these summits is because it brings a whole bunch of different people together with all different personalities, with all different backgrounds. And I think number one, it does show that literally abusive relationships can happen to anybody. But I think it also really allows us to see like, hey, like you said, I resonate with this person because we're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Like every single person is in a different place. We resonate differently with different people. I mean, we do that in life all the time. So to be able to have a panel of different people sharing their experience and how they work, I think really gives you an opportunity to feel more comfortable in saying, okay, I didn't think of it from this perspective. This person seems like they're in my head saying all the things that I'm thinking. I think that's going to be the person that's going to be able to help me out.
Yes. And I always like reference it to, it's like going to an ice cream shop. Okay. You've got like 31 flavors to choose from, right? What feels the best? Like, what are you drawn to and what feels really good? Like, and being able to know that like you get that option, because otherwise sometimes we would go to like the first person and then maybe that person doesn't really work out. And then we kind of leave with a bad taste in our mouth. This is you being able to like have a taste of each and every speaker. And honestly, in my own healing journey, that's how I found the people and my mentors. Because I really was like, I would listen to somebody and be like, oh my gosh, that is exactly what happened to me. This is who I need to talk to. And that's kind of like helping you just guide you down your path of healing.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm thinking of myself and my experience. It took me a bunch of therapists to finally find one that I liked, and I'm so glad that I didn't give up, because I talked to some people that are like, "Oh, my therapist was not, in alignment, or my coach was in alignment, or whatever," and then they just stopped. They didn't try to go and get any other support. And I really truly believe there are the right fits for each and every single one of us. If someone doesn't work, we move on to the next person that might be a better fit for us. But sitting and saying this doesn't work, it's not possible for me to create change, is just another thing that's going to be a limiting belief that's going to keep us stuck and repeating these patterns again in the future, which is what we're hoping doesn't happen, right?
Yeah, that's the part of the self-sabotage, right?
Yeah.
That creeps in, right? It's like that's you starting the diet and then not actually sticking with the diet, right?
Exactly.
It's you not going and doing the thing that you need to do. And I'd like just to say a little speak to that, a little experience. I remember when I started healing and I started to like look for mentors and coaches and therapists. I was like, oh, like once I started to do it, I was like, this doesn't feel good, right? Because I don't know if I want to do this. But the minute that I got through that resistance and I said, you know what, I can't do this on my own. It was like, that was when I actually got to get to the transformation piece. That's when I finally got to get through the yucky part of my journey. And like, why would you want to wait anytime, right? Why would you want to wait? Like start now so that you can get to the other side of this quicker. Otherwise you're going to be in the same place that you were today, next year.
100%. And the icky part is where healing happens. It's that wall that a lot of us hit in the healing process. We get to that wall, we're like, oh, this really sucks. And then we move on out and we go back to what we were doing, because even though it was uncomfortable, it felt comfortable in what we know. So yeah, I mean, getting through the icky part is getting through that part to be able to get to the other side. We have to continue. We have to keep moving forward. So how is it set up? How are people going to find you? And is it like a just one day thing, or is it over a few days? How's that going to work?
So it goes live on the 22nd and it lasts on the 31st. Each day there's going to be a couple of speakers released, and that's going to just like not overwhelm everybody. Like, so that way they can just focus on listening to a couple of those, what resonates with them, right? A couple of those speakers a day. So it's not like, oh my gosh, if I don't listen to this whole summit in 3 days, I'm not going to get the value, right? So it's like giving people time to like listen, see what you resonate with, marinate on it, and then kind of go ahead and take care, go and grab those freebies, go and grab the calls or these consultations that everybody is kind of giving out so that you can take that next step.
How do they find access to the summit?
So there's a main link for the Thriving After Abuse Summit. And so if you want to put that in the chat or wherever you're going to put that in the comments, people can just go and sign up. And then they're going to continue to get those emails every day. So it's a reminder, hey, you can go here, click here. This is the speaker. It just got released today. And then they're going to be able to go and listen to you or the other speakers.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Brooke, for coming in and talking to us and sharing the beautiful summit that you put together. This is definitely a heart-led summit. Brooke is very passionate about helping people. So it's always great to be in alignment and to be supportive of each other in our healing work with ourselves, but also, of course, with others who have this vision of helping people to heal, because it really, truly does make the world better if each and every single one of us find those people that are our biggest allies, our biggest supporters, to help us break through that wall and get us to the other side. So Brooke, thank you so much for putting this together. I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you all on the summit starting next week. Yes. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Take care. And never forget, you are way stronger than you realize. Bye, everybody.